Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna cut that out. Psych. I'm the editor and I don't cut shit out the videos because I couldn't be bothered to cut it out. And now this rant is going on longer than it needs to. Good day, fellow traders, and the one person who's gonna watch this. It's not even afternoon, man. It's good night. Not good. Whole album. No, not the whole. Yes, the whole album. Okay, you can listen to the whole album. Hopefully, the message doesn't show on the recording. That would be bad. Okay, we already wasted a minute though. Okay. Anyway, welcome to the end of the day. Pretty much the end of the month. It's the last week of the month, and this month has been a shit show for myself. Right? Last upload was I believe the first week on the Wednesday. It's Thursday we lost power for like 2 weeks from that Thursday, and then I was back last week, and yeah, the routine was just not there. Whoo, tough month, bro. Tough month. In a month where, oh shit, I'm going on a rant. Anyway, in a month where I really wanted to show up, it just had to start horribly with losing power, right? For 2 weeks. Electricity, power. It's not America, it's electricity. And yeah, so this is the first video back in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And so it's just going to be an end of day of what happened today. But oh fuck. Move this here. But I just lost my train of thought. Okay. Wow, this is gonna be. Should I edit this whole first part out, man? Jesus. Okay, the plan is, because we did miss most of the month, I think it's only fair to replay most of the month, or the entirety of the month really, from the 1st of July to whatever current will be on the day I make the specific video on the specific pair. Probably just starting with like Euro JPY and take it as the order comes. I think that it'll be beneficial to do a backtesting session on all the different instruments, right? Backtesting for the whole month of July should be a fairly long video, right? Because it's going to be live backtesting, no editing, none of that. So I'll do them in the course of this week. Should be 4 different videos for 4 different pairs. And then do I upload all of them in one day or as I finish? That's what she said. I'm not sure. No, but anyway, I think the gist of it is that just make a video on, as part of like the monthly recap. There is nothing to recap, but we had one trade that lost. I don't think it was even a full percentage loss. I think it was like 0.5% loss. That's the only trade we took this month, basically. Hence, I'm saying basically didn't do jack shit. And so backtesting the whole month, I think, is the only way to get something out of the month, because you couldn't forward test it, so might as well backtest it, and then you can say something did happen for this month. we can have hindsight, right? See what could have been of the month, putting into factor the emotional side where obviously you wouldn't have taken every trade that will show up. You wouldn't have taken every winner or every loss there. So, but it's always a what could have been. So yeah, not to drag this out for longer than it needs to be really. 4-hour bullish. That's on Euro JPY. Clearly bullish on the 4-hour here. So you obviously just want to keep playing the bullish plays right into this daily swing high right there. And on the M15 today, I was looking for sells right after London Open, right? I was looking for quick sells into the discount here, but we didn't get that. It just pretty much melted all the way down, and I was not looking to get involved in any of that. So going forward, you remember that the 15-minute does switch bearish to facilitate the 4-hour pullback and then the continuation. So my expectation is for this 4-hour zone to hold and then we get buys. The only question will be, do I get strong enough internal plays here without targeting beyond the swing high, right? Because it could still hold and come down. So just play the pullback into this premium areas over here. So yeah, we'll see tomorrow on EuroJPY. What's the development on that? And it's pretty much the same. I think it's pretty much the same for all pairs today. We had like big moves, but unfortunately for us, we couldn't be part of the big moves, right? It's not part of the plan. And also, I do feel rusty, right? I was planning on making a video last week. It just didn't feel right, man. It just felt like I'm trying to put something out for the sake of it, and I'm not in the business of doing it for the sake of doing it. So I just canceled that, even though that might be an excuse, but whatever, man. I was just not gonna do it for the sake of doing it. And so, as always, as you can see, this head and shoulders pattern, man. I don't want to call it a head and shoulders, but it essentially is a head and shoulders pattern. The only difference is you want to get involved in the higher probability areas, right? That's the pattern we always look for. We didn't have it here with the sweep, but unfortunately, nowhere to follow this. Right, as you can see on the M15, right after the Asian session ended here, pretty much a meltdown. If you are gonna follow in here, it's higher risk than like following the internal here. So obviously I'm not gonna do that. Also, especially because I'm a little bit rusty. When you're rusty, your intuition is a little bit bad. So I think also the backtesting session should help with like just getting back into the flow state, right? You always want to be in that flow state, and where it's like automatic, the decision making. You don't have to really think about it. And GU, same as always, pretty much moves the same as Euro USD, but the difference here is this is probably going to close below, so we'll probably have a 4-hour swing break right there, which means the 4-hour will be bearish. I'll change this as it becomes bearish, because it could just, for whatever reason, shoot straight back up, which would then be a sweep of the low, and then it could move up, right? M15 minute for today. Again, this one was a little bit better. I had a few alerts on this, if you can check. Right, as you can see here, Monday 28 July, right, had an alert created there, alerts triggering throughout the day. Oh wait, this is like gold shit. These are the ones from today. GPSD alert triggered at 2 o'clock, right? I was monitoring this. I was monitoring it, hence I had the zones in there. But I was looking for it to come back in on this pullback here, right? try and play one of these zones in here, even though I was not sure which one would hold up. I was gonna wait for a little bit more development in there, and then we get the sweep of the low and it coming back in, which for me is not the highest of probabilities, because if you have a sweep of the low, it could have been a sweep and it continues up. So after that point, I was not really interested. It would have been better if we had gotten the pullback into the zone here, right, to make the mini head and shoulders we always look for. Right, you would have had the push up here, right, push up, and then right there, little push down, push up into there, then a break, right? So we would have been looking for it to, like, this part here would have been like this leg coming back in here and then selling. I think that would have been better, but we did not get that, and we had a meltdown as well. So yeah, at this point, I'm just sitting on our hands and waiting for something to happen. Yes, the CAD is a little bit iffy. As you can see, came into this daily zone, starting to show signs of holding, right? But we had a boss right there, but this boss failed to create a low, right? Came back up, failed to create a high, so looks like we're going to be range bound. So whenever you're in like the extremes of a range is when you'd be typically looking for sells, and then when you're in this extreme, the discount, you typically be looking for buys. And so on the M15, you're coming up into this extreme, like M15 swing high, expectations are for it to hold and go down. So at this point, you're just sitting on your hands waiting for it to switch bearish, and then play the bearish plays, because you don't want to keep playing the bullish plays when you are in the extremes over here. The bullish plays are going to be less likely because you are in like a sort of a range. So yeah, we'll be waiting to see what happens as we develop more. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.